Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Um, Today, I'd really like to talk about overcoming adversity. So, most of the time, when I'm trying to plan these, I don't really plan them. I can't quite figure out what it is that I need to say. And usually, it's not until the day of or maybe the day before when I'm doing these lives that I actually know what I'm going to talk about. So, none of these that I do are scripted. I don't really 9 times out of 10 don't know what I'm gonna talk about until I actually get on, or just before, and everything is just kinda off the cuff and, stream of consciousness kind of thing. So, like, as the thoughts are occurring to me, I'm sharing them with you, and I'm always asking for what it is that I need to share with you. So, what am I meant to share? And typically, I'm not disappointed with, the results that I get. So, what I got this time was overcoming adversity. I wasn't on last week and I didn't give anybody a reason why. But, I've got some things that are going on in my life right now that have kind of made it a little bit stressful for me. And trying to figure out how to fit everything in. And I have a feeling that a lot of people can pretty much relate to what I'm going through right now. So, like, we're doing a home renovation, and I had some people coming over last weekend, and we needed to finish tiling. And in order to get that done, we needed to grout. And so last Thursday, my husband and I were actually grouting floor, 600 square feet, and it took us about 7 hours. So we finished around 1 a.m. And I unfortunately just didn't have time to, make it here to talk to you guys. But, you know, I kind of was beating myself up a little bit because of that, because I really kind of enjoy coming on and talking to people. Not that there's too many people who actually really engage while I'm doing these lives, but I do see that people view them after they've been posted on my page. So I really like doing them because I'm hoping that the information that I'm receiving, that needs to be shared is actually seen by the right person right when they need to see it. So today, the message that I got was, talk about overcoming adversity. And I honestly hadn't planned really the content for even my YouTube channel or for Facebook. Not Facebook, I'm sorry, but my website, because it's almost a new month already. And um, a lot of people plan stuff way in advance. And sometimes I need to wait and see where I'm being guided. And I think in August, we're going to spend some time talking about overcoming adversity, dealing with obstacles, and perseverance, because those things, I think, particularly now in the age of COVID, are things that are completely relevant. And a lot of people really need to learn how to deal with in an effective and efficient way in order to be happy and to just stay sane. Um, so again, none of this stuff is ever scripted. I really have no idea what I'm going to say. So I'm just going to, do stream of consciousness talking. So again, this is why I'm doing this, because I really want to help people. I want to help people feel better about themselves, and I want to help people feel better about their lives. I don't want people to feel like they're stuck or they really can't move forward because they don't have the tools necessary. And I can provide all the tools that you need in order to get unstuck and to get yourself dug out of the hole, whatever hole that you're in, and actually moving forward with your life. So overcoming adversity. And in a lot of my videos, I've talked about a lot of the things that I've overcome in my life. And we all have things that come up for us. There are so many things that we all deal with on a daily basis, family and friends and work situations, spouses and partners, children. I mean, there's so many things that come up on a regular basis that, could be adverse situations, whether, it's car issues or health issues, or, what people just arguing about mundane, stupid stuff that really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. But, a lot of people, they have a tendency to think that the whole world is going out of control. So they want to try to control the little bit that they think they can, and they make it a lot worse on other people. So this can have a detrimental effect on you. So, if you're, so I worked for a guy one time, and he had multiple sclerosis. He has multiple sclerosis. I just don't work for him anymore. But he, he was a dick. I've actually worked for a lot of really crappy bosses. This guy was really, I mean, honestly, he wasn't the worst, but he was a bit of a jerk. And I was talking to somebody one time about why he's such a jerk. And a friend of mine said to me, maybe he's that way because he feels that's the only thing he has control of. Because, when you have an autoimmune disorder like multiple sclerosis, you're like, there's so much that's completely out of your control. And after she said that, that really made me think, okay, well, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe he is being a neurotic a-hole because this is really the only thing he feels like he can control, since his entire life is basically out of control. And after that, I started having compassion for him. And when he treated me poorly, I didn't, I mean, I still minded it, but I didn't get as offended or upset about it as I had previously. A lot of times, he would say things, or, just do things that really made me upset. And I would, be really, really upset about it. I would, I wouldn't go home crying, but I wasn't happy. And it was a place where, you have to stay for 8 hours a day, and, not 7 days a week, but 5 days a week. So 40 hours a week, I'm dealing with this. So every morning I get up, and, you start dreading it. As soon as you have to get ready to go to work, you're like, oh my God, I got to go and deal with this crap again. This guy is going to be talking smack, and I really just don't want to deal with it. And so you run through all this stuff. Now, when when you can change your thoughts and change the way you're thinking and feeling about a situation. So, when my friend had mentioned that maybe he was that way because that was the only thing he felt he could control, my thoughts and my feelings shifted, and I no longer felt that dread. I no longer felt, upset. And yeah, okay, he would say something and I get, I don't know, I guess maybe hurt by it a little bit. But eventually I got to the point where it didn't even bother me anymore. And I just let everything go. And I was able to actually work, full time, and not really, worry about dealing with how I was going to feel every day because of him. So you have the power to choose how you feel, how you act, and how you react to any situation. And how somebody treats you is your karma, and how you act or react is your karma. So you are responsible for yourself. You can't be responsible for anybody else. And so I could have easily just chose to feel sorry for myself or have a pity party and continue to, wah wah cry about it, to everybody. But, in the grand scheme of things, most people didn't care about what I was going through because they had their own stuff that they were going through. And I didn't want to be the person that everyone was like, oh my God, she's calling and all she's doing is complaining about everything again. And I just didn't want to be that person. So, we all have things that, come up for us on a regular basis that we have to try and figure out. What is the lesson that I'm meant to learn here? Why am I in this situation? Why did I keep getting all these crappy bosses? Why did I keep getting all these, situations that were so similar? And I would leave one job and go to another one. And I would just assume that, okay, I'm going from this job to the next one, it's going to be better. And it wasn't. It was just, I was bringing in the same thing over and over and over again because I had a lesson that I needed to learn. And until I actually learned that lesson, I wasn't able to actually move forward with my life and actually find a boss and a job that was better. So, whatever it is that you're trying to, get past, if you try and take a shortcut to, go around the obstacle, but you are meant to actually, get that obstacle and like go past that obstacle, and you try to bypass it and do, the easy way out, you're going to find that you're coming up against the same thing over and over and over again. So, like, I live in a rural area, and we were driving home one time, my husband and I, and this was hilarious. So I don't know why, while we were driving home, it just started pouring, and it was raining so hard. I mean, like, so hard that you had to stop on the side of the freeway because you could not see. It was raining so hard. The wind was blowing, and it was just insane for maybe like 10, 15 minutes. It came through, and it went through so fast. It was unbelievable. But it took down a ton of trees. And so we were trying to get to our house, and we live in an area where it's kind of on. I live in Michigan. I've mentioned it numerous times. So in Michigan, you go up north, right? That's what you do. You go up north. That's where you vacation. Anybody that's from Michigan or knows anybody from Michigan knows that you go up north. That's just what you do. And so where we live near a freeway that is a major road for people driving north to go up north. So typically on Fridays during good weather, you'll have, all these people that are going up north to go to, go camping or go to their cottages or their lake houses or, whatever, just go on vacation. And so in order to kind of bypass that, we decided to go down some dirt roads. And no matter how many dirt roads we went down, every single road we went down, we came across a roadblock. There were trees down, and we had to turn around and backtrack. And so we did this for, gosh, probably like, I want to say like 40 minutes, going down one road, turning around and coming back, going down another road, turning around and coming back. And what we ended up having to do is go to the normal route that we would have normally get. Now, we didn't want to go that route because there was a lot of traffic for people heading north. And we tried to shortcut it, and we tried to bypass it. And what happened? We ended up having to just go back that way anyway and go down the normal way. And, we could have saved ourselves 40 minutes of trouble, 40 minutes of heartache if we would have just stayed where we were and gone with the flow. And sometimes we want to try and swim against the current. And when we try so hard to swim against the current, I mean, anybody that's ever tried to go against a current knows that it's impossible, especially if it's a really strong current. You have a really strong current and you're trying to swim against the current, you're going to just get worn out, you're going to get worn down, you're going to get tired, and you're going to get beat down in a really short period of time. So sometimes you have to learn to just go with the flow. It may not always take you where you want to go, but wherever it's taking you is where you need to be. And we might fight that tooth and nail because we really don't want to be there. Like, there's a lot of places that I've been that I didn't want to be, but I ended up there for a reason because of choices that I made in my life. And once I got there, I had to figure out how to get myself out, how to get myself further down or further along than where I was. And, there's a saying, obstacles are put in your way to see if what you want, if what's on the other side is what you truly want. So every time you come across an obstacle, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity for learning, and it's an opportunity for you to be a better person and to progress and be happier. So, every time you come across an obstacle, something that comes up or someone that gets in your way, look at this as an opportunity to do something better for yourself, to do something better with your life, and be happy and grateful for, these chances that come up and it's funny because a lot of people think I'm crazy because I say that I'm grateful for all the people in my life who have abused me. And, some people, they say, like, how could you possibly be grateful for being abused? And if it wasn't for all of the stuff that's happened to me in my life and all of the choices that I have made, I would not be here right now. I could have easily, so easily, spent my whole life wallowing in self pity, doing the poor me, wallowing in misery, just like having this crazy little, pity party of one. And most people would be like, you know what? You totally deserve it. You totally, were that person. Out of all the people, I totally feel sorry for you. And I get it, but I couldn't do that because I was miserable. I was not happy. I was so miserable that I was killing myself with food and alcohol. I was slowly killing myself. I mean, I had like acute hypertension, high cholesterol, and I was just sick. I was so sick, and I was sick to death of my life, and I needed something to change. And, that change happened in the form of quitting drinking and stopping eating crap. I quit eating meat and I went vegan. I started eating healthy. I mean, yeah, I went vegan 17 years ago. They didn't have like Boca burgers and shit like that 17 years ago. I think maybe Boca burgers were the only ones that were around back then. And they were terrible back then. So nobody that was like vegan or even vegetarian wanted to eat them because they were really horrible. But I had to adapt. I had to make changes. I had to, kind of flip the script and, try to figure out how to survive and how to overcome the adversity of being unhappy and being unhealthy and having all these negative thoughts. And I started meditating and I started practicing mindfulness. And in a couple of years, my life completely changed. I went from being morbidly obese and just like chronically fatigued and really unhappy. I was depressed to being a sponsored triathlete in just 4 years. I mean, that's the power of perseverance, right? I seriously overcame adversity. I came from, a background of drinking. I came from a background of smoking. I came from a background of hunting and fishing and eating meat. Like when I told my family that I was going vegan, they laughed. They all laughed at me and they're like, "Yeah, there's no way." My husband even said, like, until I started seeing you, I'd never eaten so much red meat before in my life because every meal was meat and potatoes. So nobody thought that I could do it. But I did it because I had an obstacle that I needed to overcome. And that was acute hypertension and high cholesterol. And the only way that I knew how to do that was you go to the source. What causes these things? And you eliminate the source. And by eliminating the source and doing little changes and making all these shifts, I have managed to make my life so much better. So you have to take all these things that come up and look at them as opportunities, because if you don't see them as opportunities and work towards overcoming them, you will stay stuck for the rest of your life. You will never be happy and you will never accomplish anything. So that's pretty much all I have for today. If you're watching this on YouTube, I invite you to like and comment. Let me know if there's any specific adversities that you've overcome in the last few years. Anything specific that you're going through right now that you would really like help with, and I'll see how I can help you. Every week I have a free Facebook group. I do group coaching. So, for like an hour once a week on Thursdays at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. You can come on and, talk about whatever issues that you have. If you don't have anything that you really wish to speak about publicly, because sometimes we have things that we're ashamed of, but we don't know really how to go about resolving the issues, feel free to send me a message and I'll work on helping you. I can discuss whatever it is that you're struggling with. and, post it in the group for you to watch at a later time, even if you can't join live. So I'd really love to have you join the group. I will post the link to the group in the comments. And, if you really found this, you know, content valuable, I invite you to subscribe and, share the content with, anybody that that's struggling with adversity right now. I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the world with COVID, and a lot of people are truly struggling. And I'm really trying as hard as I can to help people as much as I can so that, everybody ends up staying happy and healthy and, doesn't struggle really. Because we do, grow through struggle, but it doesn't have to be as hard as we really think it is. So until next time, I hope you guys stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.